I'm Susan Burns. I'm the editor of Biz 941, and I'd like to welcome you all here today. We are so honored to celebrate the people and the companies in this community that are leading the way in integrating diverse individuals and cultures in our community. And it's been a pleasure to partner with CEO and publisher Luis Barón of La Guía magazine. This is a collaboration that is opening up new markets and opportunities for us as well. And isn't that what diversity is all about? It's about looking and finding the opportunities and richness in the variety of people with whom we share this world.
Thank you, Susan. Buenas tardes. Susan and I have talked to all of you, and we have been inspired for your lives and your embrace of the multicultural world we live in today. Your work has benefited our community and contributed to our economy and the quality of life. When we look around this room today, we are gratified and enriched by the diversity of people sitting in front of us. You represent different countries, ethnicities, and all walks of life. We have helped make our community and our nation stronger, richer, and more resilient. We thank you all for being here in our counties and our area.
We are very, very lucky to have Dr. Joaquim de Posada with us, an international motivational speaker and author based in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Fully bilingual, bilingue. Today's in English, don't worry. He specializes in sales, management, leadership, and team building, and has worked in more than 60 countries and the United States. And everything started with a marshmallow that he is gonna be talking about. His motivational methods have been so successful that they have been transferred to the sports world. In the past, he has been a consultant in sports psychology for the NBA Milwaukee Bucks, the Los Angeles Lakers, Puerto Rican professional teams, and Olympic teams. Amazing, huh? He's the main author of the book, Don't Eat the Marshmallow Yet, The Secret to Sweet Success, Work, and Life. We all wanna have that secret. I don't know if we can stop eating the marshmallow. We will see. That book was named the best book of the month by the New York Times and published by Penguin. He also wrote the sequel, Don't Gobble the Marshmallow Ever, The Secret to Sweet Success in Times of Change. Also a worldwide bestseller. In 2009, he was named one of the 25 hot speakers in the United States who are shaping the speaking profession by the National Speakers Association. He was also a speaker at the prestigious TED Conference. And we are very lucky because he is here with us today. Please join me to welcome Dr. Joaquim de Posada.
Well, thank you so much for being here. We don't have much time, so I want to get right into it. First of all, let me congratulate you. Sarasota having such an event like this where there's diversity, unity, and that's absolutely wonderful. I get to travel all over the world, and I love different cultures, and when we can get some cultures together in a room, it's absolutely magic. Many countries, there's a crisis, but every country that I have gone to, I find people that see opportunity when there's crisis. I see people that will do better in difficult times because they know how to take advantage of opportunities. So it's not what happens in the world that matters, it's how you react to the events that happen. Now the world has changed tremendously. Before, the big company would eat the small one. In years ago, these smaller companies and people that had small businesses had no chance. Now technology has put us on the level field. Now everyone has an equal chance to be successful. In Africa, it's the same thing. In Africa, the lions would eat the gazelle. The tigers would eat the gazelle. But times have changed because now the gazelles know that there's technology. The gazelles know that they can get help. And the gazelles now are smarter, which means that the lions, in order to catch them, have to be better lions, or otherwise they'll starve to death. Obviously, the world has changed for that lion, and he has to be better in order to be successful. He has to do different things in order to be able to eat. Otherwise, he'll starve to death. Of course, like in everything in life, sometimes you hire people and you give them all the tools. You teach them how to do their jobs. You give them the best clients. They have to sell or do whatever, and they just don't work out. Has that happened to you if you're in a business? Why? Why don't they work out? Even though you support them in everything that they need to be supported on. They don't feel passion for it. They don't like what they're doing. They're having that job because that's what they need now. But hey, you know what? They should go and for their passion. No one should be 8 hours in a job when you do not love what you do. That's why in my company we tell our clients, hire slow, fire fast. Hire slow. In other words, make sure you find a person that fits that job. And if it doesn't work out, then let them go because they need to find their passion and they need to go wherever they can do a better job. Sir Francis Bacon said something that is very true. He said, knowledge is power. That is a true statement. Knowledge is power. But he should have said something else. He should have said applied knowledge is power. Because if you know and you don't do, you don't know. Knowing and not doing is not knowing. So it's important that whatever you learn, maybe even today, out of my little speech, 1 idea, 2 ideas, the most important thing is for you to apply it in your job immediately. Otherwise, knowledge will not work. Sometimes you have knowledge. Sometimes people know, but then something happens within companies. In fact, something happens within communities. Something happens even in our own legislature. Communication breaks down. And that can happen and have very bad consequences. Now I'll proceed to discuss one idea that I found to be so important that I wrote a book about it. And the idea is, don't eat the marshmallow yet. I call that the big idea in my career. And it came out of a very prominent American psychologist that worked in Stanford University. He took 643 children and put them in a room with a marshmallow. And he put the marshmallow in front of the kid, 4 years old, and he would tell the child, Johnny or Mary, I'm going to leave the room for 15 minutes. If when I come back, the marshmallow is here, you get 2. If you eat it, you get nothing else. To tell a child, 4 years old, to wait 15 minutes for something that they love is equivalent for us to tell you, yeah, we'll have dessert in 2 hours, 3 hours. It's a long time. So what happened? Psychology leaves the room, looks in the glass window. The children, 2 out of 3, ate the marshmallow. 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 40 seconds, 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 11 minutes, 12 minutes, some 40 minutes, I can't stand it, ate the marshmallow. But 1 out of 3 already at 4 understood the most important factor for success, which is self-discipline. The ability to delay gratification. The ability to sacrifice now to get more later. So 1 out of 3 did not eat the marshmallow. 15 years later, follow-up study. What did they find? They found that 100% of the children that did not eat the marshmallow were all successful. Their SAT exam was 213 points higher than the children, on average, than the children that ate the marshmallow. They had good grades, good plans, good relationships with their parents and with the teachers. They were pretty well set for life. What happened to the kids that ate the marshmallow? Most of them did not make it to college. They were working low-level, low-paying jobs, delivering pizzas, pumping gas, mechanics, the bad ones waiting tables, doing all kinds of stuff because they were not able to go to college. Some of them made it to university and dropped out. They could not stand the rigor of college. Some had bad grades, and a few. Something turned them around in life, and they were doing good. So I had, of course, an idea that I had to write a book about, and I did. But I also had a question in my mind. I was wondering if the experiment was done in Stanford with American kids, how would Hispanic Americans kids react? Or how would Hispanics in Latin America react to the same experiment? 2 out of 3 ate the marshmallow, 1 out of 3 did not. Same as in the US. So normal countries would be 2 out of 3 would eat it, 1 out of 3 would not. If we go to a place where there's a catastrophe or there's a big dictatorship, like Haiti, for example, now the kids would eat the marshmallow because they are in need. But in normal societies that are not going through different crises, 2 out of 3 would eat it. This little girl here was very interesting. She said, you know what, I want this marshmallow, but I want to have another one too. So what can I do to eat this one and to keep another one? So what she did, she started eating the inside of the marshmallow. So she left it hollow in front of the table. That, of course, took us by surprise, and we decided, yeah, we had to give her another marshmallow. She's very creative. However, when she grows up, we would not recommend she work in a bank. Not a bank. Maybe sales, marketing, PR, but not a bank, okay? Okay, now, my idea was to take this knowledge all over the world. And little did I know that the book would become a worldwide phenomenon. It went into 20 languages. In Korea, stayed #1 for 62 weeks in a row. In Korea, it beat Da Vinci Code and Harry Potter because they understood the idea. They understood how important it is. By the way, an idea that we here in the States have not yet understood. And we need to understand. Otherwise, it'll be unsustainable for us to have the debt that we're having now, and it will bring us to bankruptcy. This principle has to be applied here in the States, or we will not be a viable society in 30, 40 years. In China, what happened in China? In China, yes, a bestseller in China. They understood. In fact, in Germany, I just spoke in Germany, the guy that followed me is a guy named Joost Stiglitz, Nobel Prize in Economics. And he, of course, heard my speech, and he said to the audience there, it was not Germany, in Switzerland. It was in Switzerland, okay? In Geneva. So he followed me in this stage, he followed me, and he said, you know, those 3 kids, 2 were Americans, 1 was Chinese. He said that because the savings rate in US is 0. And the Chinese save 50% of what they earn. Every Chinese saves 50% of what they earn. So we need to change that, okay? Otherwise we'll be in bad shape. The book went to all kinds of languages. I don't even know some of them: Japanese, Spanish, Spain, Brazil, Poland, Slovakia, Germany, French, Turkish, Japanese, I think. And the Koreans were so smart. The Koreans said, you know what, Dr. Posada? We need to teach this concept to all our children in Korea. And they made a book for kids. So now every school kid in Korea will read the marshmallow experiment. And now they're the 10th biggest economy. They told me their goal, I don't believe they can do it, but their goal is 2050, #1 economy in the world. At least they know what to do with their children. Now, the marshmallow decision is this, and this is what applies to us as a country, this is what applies to us in families and individually. Go through the pain of discipline now, or later on in life, suffer the pain of regret. We go through discipline now, or we suffer the pain of regret years down the road. So how did this idea come about? And this is why I'm telling all of you here that you are, everyone, one idea away from a quantum leap. You're one applied idea away from a big success. You're one idea away from a bestseller. You're one idea away from an invention, from a process, from discovering something, one idea away. Because here I was on a flight from San Juan to New York, and I was reading that book, Emotional Intelligence. And that book described, in 1 page, the marshmallow experiment. In 1 page. How many psychologists have read that book? How many lay people have read it? Hundreds of thousands. And yet I saw the marshmallow experiment and I said, you know what? This is so important that I need to write a book, and I want that book to go all over the world. And then the rest is history. So we are one idea away from becoming big in our lives. Some people tell me, you know, I love to write a book. In fact, everyone hears the book. Everyone hears the book. Even if you write a book for your own family and nobody will read it, your family will. Okay? And you will leave a legacy. Everyone can write a book. And some people say to me, you know, it's so much work, I cannot write a book. And then I say, are you sure you cannot write a book? Well, let me show you someone. Let me introduce you to Jean-Dominique Bauby. He's in your business. He's in the magazine business, Elle magazine in France. He was the editor. 44 years old. He was doing great, had beautiful woman because all the models wanted to be with him. Finally cost him his marriage, became a divorced guy with 10 girlfriends or whatever, 2 beautiful kids. He decides to buy a BMW. They take him to his office. He goes down, gets into the car, and tells the chauffeur, let's go to my home. I want my kids to ride with me, the first ride in my new BMW. The little girl was not home, the boy was. He got into the car, and 1 minute after getting into the car, his mind went blank. He just fainted. Last thing he remembered was the orange letters in the BMW. And when he opened his eyes, there he was, totally paralyzed. It's called the locked-in syndrome, where everything in your whole body is paralyzed. You can only move one part of the body. Some people, there are 15,000 cases in the States. Some people can move a finger. Some people can move the toe. In his case, the left eyelid. That's all he could move. Open it and close it. Not even the right one, only the left one. Open, close. And that guy wanted to leave a legacy, and he wrote a book. Yeah, some people say, kids, when I go to schools, they say, Dr. Posada, how could he write a book with his left eyelid? Well, actually, he needed somebody else. But what they did is they got all the letters in the French alphabet. They put the letters in order of the most used letters, the most used first, then the other ones. And then a woman that wanted to help him out and get that book out started. She would go like this, P. Okay, he would do that. Boom, P. Again, O. O. Letter by letter. She would stop in the letter that he wanted the word to be construed. And he did 132 pages. Okay? So this guy had a mission, and he had to do it because the book was finished, and 2 days later, he died. But he left us with an example of what the human spirit is all about. Okay? So no one can tell me that you cannot write a book. This guy, he had a great job in Wall Street. He's, by the way, his name Bezos is a Cuban name. His stepfather is Cuban, married to an American lady. His father abandoned him when he was a kid. Little did he know that he would become a multimillionaire. He would not have abandoned him, maybe, in that case. But he felt so obliged and he felt so grateful to his Cuban dad that he said, you know what, you're my dad. My last name will be Bezos, just like you. One idea made him a multimillionaire. Who knows this woman? Anybody knows this woman? Sometimes I get 1 person, 2 persons in the audience to know her. In Houston, everyone knows her. You know her? Okay, in Houston, everybody knows her. This woman is Andrea Pia Yates. She drowned her 5 children in the bathtub. How horrible can that be? That day, there's a guy, Mark Cherry, watching TV with his mother. And Mark was an unemployed writer, financially broke. And at that moment, he asked his mother, Mama, can you imagine a woman being so desperate that she would hurt her own children? He was astounded. How can a woman do that, Mommy? How can a woman do that? And his mother's response horrified and fascinated him. She said, I've been there. I have been there. He could not believe his eyes. He could not believe what his mother had told him. He said, wow. So thinking that millions of women might be feeling desperate because of different circumstances, he decided to write a script that would describe some of the situations that women face. And little did he know that it would change his life, because that script became one of the most famous TV shows in history, which is Desperate Housewives. One bad case, one horrible situation sparked an idea that now millions of people will benefit from. This guy, Mike Burnett from England. Hey, throw a bunch of guys in an island and let's see who survives and we'll make a show out of it. And now it's very famous and does very well. A simple idea by Federico Alvarez, an Uruguayan kid from Uruguay. He spent $500 in doing a movie. He called it Panic Attack, about an alien invasion in Uruguay. He uploaded it to YouTube. Guess what? Sam Raimi's Ghost House Productions hired him to do a movie for $30 million, just because he had the idea to upload it in YouTube. Never in history have we had the opportunities that we have today. Okay, and they're open to everyone, even a kid in Uruguay, becoming a Hollywood player by just uploading a movie. Sometimes life throws us a curve. This guy, Chinese, a truck ran over him, okay, took off his 2 legs. Peng Chun-Ling, somebody else would be devastated, right? Not him. He knew, you know what, this happened to me, I have to adapt. And he adapted. And he opened a bunch of supermarkets called half man, half store price. So he would sell everything at half price. Okay? And now he's rich. He has 13 of them. He uses what he has and does the best he can with it. Wise words from him. To reach for anything that you haven't had, you will have to do what you have never done. This is very important. Teach this to your kids. To reach for anything that you haven't had, you will have to do what you have never done. Okay, so my ending is whether you are Anglo, African American, Hispanic, Native American, Asian, you live in the land of opportunity. You live in the best country in the world. And there's no limit to what you can accomplish by living in this wonderful free land. So the question is, why be less when you can be more? Why be less when you can be more? I'll leave you with this very beautiful poem which says, the best day of your life is the one in which you decide your life is your own. No apologies or excuses, no one to lean on, rely on, or blame. The gift of life is yours. It is an amazing journey, and you alone are responsible for the quality of it. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you soon.
Thank you, Joaquim. That was wonderful and very motivational. I'm wondering how many of us here would have eaten the marshmallow. I can assure you the winners here did not eat the marshmallow.
No, I promise I'm going to buy some marshmallows for my daughter today, and look what happened.
We're going to present the awards to our Unity winners right now. I would be remiss if I didn't thank our judges in this competition who really spent a lot of time going over every nomination. And we just put up your hand, please. Martha Barone, Vicente Medina of BB&T, and Jeff Maltzby, who's the manager in Sarasota County Government for Business and Economic Development. Thank you. Our first award is in the category of large company. As one of our larger employers, Tropicana is also one of our most diverse. 37% of its employees are people of color. And this didn't happen by accident. Tropicana has a strong, dedicated program to attracting and keeping people of diverse backgrounds. It's a significant part of their corporate culture. As one of their executive employees told me, when you come into an organization, it's welcoming to have someone reach out to you. I was that young black college student coming into corporate America. Without people helping me, I would not be here. We think her words sum up perfectly why Tropicana is a winner. Here to present the Unity Award for Top Company is J.J. Miranda of Fifth Third Bank.
Good afternoon, and I had to write something because they told me I have a minute, and usually it takes me 3 hours just to get off the podium. But thanks for coming. And I'm J.J. Miranda, and I'm proud to represent the employees of Fifth Third Bank at today's award celebration. At Fifth Third Bank, we strive for diversity because we recognize the value that different perspectives bring to the way we deliver service. Fifth Third Bank has always had a strong commitment to respect each individual and value every employee's personal contribution to the business. As the bank has become increasingly diverse, as we have grown to be recognized as one of the country's top 10 super regional banks, we recognize the importance of providing an environment where everyone can maximize their potential fully. Diverse perspective from many cultures and vantages make us stronger. This diversity invites innovation that help us keep our brand promise of meeting today's needs while working hard to deliver a better tomorrow for our customers, our employees, and our shareholders. At Fifth Third Bank, it just makes good business sense. Thank you, Susan and Luis Eduardo, for the opportunity to participate and recognize our fellow community leaders. And thank you all for the trust you placed in our company. Thank you.
And will the Tropicana Award winner please come up?
Well, I didn't know I was supposed to prepare anything. But first of all, I'd like what to say is that
diversity and inclusion is a very important part of our strategy within Tropicana and within PepsiCo. And it really begins with great leaders. And when you begin to start looking at the leaders that we have that lead all our different ERGs within Tropicana, you can see a great diverse team right here. And what is really neat about this team is that we do not only events within Tropicana, but within the local community, and they all work together to pull those events off. They share leadership, they share resources, and so this team is a great example of diversity working not only within our company, but also within the local community. So great job, everybody.
Our next award is in the category of education. The life of Esperanza Gamboa reads like a novel and maybe a telenovela. Originally raised on the small farm in Cuba, she studied Russia. In Russia, she studied Russian language and literature at the university, and then went back to school for a degree in journalism. Always questioning authority, whether as a professor or as a journalist, she eventually made her way to this country and settled in Manatee County. She published one of the first Spanish language magazines in the region, and then began to work for Manatee Technical Institute in the farm worker educational program, offering education and compassion to people who often see neither. She hosts a TV show on METV, discusses farm worker issues with our legislators, and partnered with the census to help count minorities. She says one of her proudest successes has been be able to raise her son Isaías in a free country. Esperanza Gamboa.
I prepare a little scene. I'm not used to this. It's really hard for me to speak in public, but I would like to say thank you to my generous community, to my family, to my husband Dave, Isaiah, and Cesar, to Maura Hall and Dr. Mary Cantrell for their trust and nomination, and to my colleagues and all my good friends that are here today. Thank you so much for sharing this special occasion with me. I'm humble, I'm honored with my nomination and selection for the Unity Award because I know there are other wonderful people in our area dedicated to help, to support, and to educate our families. I would like to express my admiration for Sister Nora, Manatee County, Sister Caroline, Pastor Mark and Judy, Luz Corcuera, Jimmy Delgado, Maria Matos, Father Celestino, and many more for their great work in the community and for making Manatee and Sarasota counties a better place to live and to raise our children. Every year, I have the opportunity to meet people from all over the country and the world that relocate to our area. They are seeking information and need our support to start a new life, achieve their goals, and improve their lives. They are all remarkable people who just need few minutes of our time to blossom and to become the future community leaders, the state senators, the business owner, or even the future Secretary of Labor of the United States. Please offer your time and support to those who are struggling in this economy and those who want to work and to contribute to our society. I believe that all of us deserve love, respect, education, and an opportunity to succeed in life, regardless to our race, ethnic background, culture, or a thick Cuban accent. Please remember, just few minutes of your time can change a person's life forever. And thank you for this great honor. Thank you.
Our next award is in the medical category. James McLeod has dedicated his life for 16 years to ensuring that people in our community who live near the poverty level can find the health care that they need. With nothing but an idea, his passion, and incredible willpower, he's somehow convinced a team of just as incredible doctors, dentists, nurses, and administrative staff to volunteer at his Genesis Health Services Clinic in Newtown and in Venice. Today, thousands of patients a year walk through his doors getting the medical care that they need in critical specialties. This medical care truly changes their lives. We can't thank James enough for his contribution and for the contribution of his entire staff of volunteers. Thank you, Jim. Here to present the award in the medical category is Sally Hill of Suncoast Workforce.
Good afternoon. Susan and Luis, Suncoast Workforce, thank you for this opportunity to be here today. We are thrilled to be part of this wonderful event that recognizes and celebrates diversity in our community. At Suncoast Workforce, we embrace diversity every day as we assist businesses with resource to help them find great employees and by helping those looking for work find employment. It's an honor to be among companies and individuals that promote such a positive culture. But I'm going to keep this short because this day is about them.
Good afternoon. First, I'd like to thank Susan for this wonderful event, and I'm hoping that this first event is the first of many. I surely would want this to continue in the future. And I'm sure by now a lot of you have seen the magazine. I'm just gratified about the cover. However, I got people from high school, from Palmetto High, that I borrowed money from calling me. I do want to say, though, that I'm really honored by this award, and I appreciate all the thought that anyone put into it for me to be standing here today. And for those of you that don't know, Genesis is located in Sarasota County, and we have a very simple model to get health care to people that couldn't otherwise afford it, and that's to use volunteer providers, volunteer doctors and dentists, psychiatrists, et cetera. And unfortunately, our family practice doctor died a couple of weeks ago, and we lost our dentist a month before that, so we're really desperate for family practice volunteers and dentists. So if anybody knows any dentists or family practice guys, I'd appreciate it. The other thing is that my community organizing DNA can't let me pass up this opportunity to propose. I've got this Unity Award, and I want to live this award as I try to do. And I'm going to be getting the contact information of all my co-honorees from Susan, and I'm going to be getting in touch with you because we're going to live this award, those of you that are interested, and we're going to see if we can, as a class, go forward in our community and do something that is going to be a positive impact on this community. And perhaps next year when Susan has this event, we can maybe give a report, or you can find out what it is that we were able to accomplish. Thank you very much.
Our next award is in the category of entrepreneurship. Rosaria Holm is an extraordinary woman. She came to this country from Colombia when she was 18, cleaned houses, and then started her own business in Mariachi Loco. Today she has 2 stores that are one-stop shops. Her customers can buy groceries, get their hair done, cash checks, send money back to their countries, and many other stuff like buy insurance, etc. She has more than 50,000 customer visits a year. But more than that, she's a friend, mentor, and mother figure to her customers and their employees. She exemplifies the tremendous contribution, entrepreneurial spirit, and generosity to add to the wealth of the community and our country. She is extremely successful now, but told us that she never thought about making money, just doing her best and doing it in the right way. These are the same words she gave to her sons, and she's very proud to have their sons here with us today. Rosalia Homlut.
First, I would like to thank God to give me the opportunity to be in the land of the opportunities. I would like to thank my husband, my kids, and all my coworkers to be with me all the time, helping in all my dreams. I also would like to thank BITS 941 for the honor of this award. When I start my business, I follow my heart and succeed by always trying to do the right thing. I never thought I will be in the position to recognize for my work. People ask me the secret of my success. The secret is caring about people and the community. I would also like to thank La Guía del Golfo, Luis Eduardo Barón, all his coworkers. They always have been with me since the beginning. We started at the same time, and I know he always helped the community. Thanks again for BIS 941 for this event to bring all the communities together. You made me feel so proud of myself. Thank you.
Our next award is in the category of small business. CJ Zaya says he wants to and expects to run an excellent law firm, and he and his partner, Kevin Gallagher, have succeeded. In large part because of her support and commitment with communities in need, from Tots to Martin Luther King Jr. Day events, to supplies to wounded soldiers. They are most closely tied to the Hispanic community. Most of all the 30 employees in her business speak Spanish. CJ speaks out on immigration reform and the need for more diverse leadership in government. And you will find Zaya and Gallagher supporting many Hispanic events. As CJ told us, when you take care of your community takes care of you. CJ Gallagher, CJ Zaya, and Kevin Gallagher. John Weber of the Zenith is going to join us in order to give the award.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is John Weber. I'm the general manager for the Zenith Insurance Operations, and I know we have a few insurance professionals here, but for those of you who are not, we're not the TV company. We are an insurance company, and we provide workers' compensation insurance to a wide variety of people across the state. So we have the pleasure of working with a diverse cultural group and a lot of different folks, and our success is predicated upon getting those folks back to work, getting those folks the best quality care possible. And because of our culture and our values, our commitment to diversity, we've had a lot of success in doing that. And it's my pleasure on behalf of the Zenith employees and with my colleague here today, Ursula Nixon, to present this award to you. Thank you. It's an honor.
Everybody's hand on that award. Thank you.
Thank you. It's a great honor, and I'd like to thank the Academy, I guess, for voting for us. I really want to just thank my partner, CJ, for getting me involved in this 15 years ago, and we have a very, obviously, culturally diverse law firm and represent culturally diverse people, and it's been a great experience for me. Thank you, CJ.
Thank you, brother. I want to say something from Dr. Posada that I want to speak in behalf of the 2/3 of us that ate the marshmallow. Because I did. I'm very compulsive. I spend all my money. My partner is wealthy. I'm not. I'm one of those few guys, the 2/3. The secret in life, if you're one of us, is hook up with the guy that didn't eat the marshmallow. All right? Thanks, brother. The one thing I want to say is that Kevin and I learned a long time ago that when you give, you receive. I think we listen to the Padre speak a lot. We take that to heart. I know Kevin has raised a good Catholic boy in Cleveland, and I know his aunt is a nun, and we've always given charity and contribute to the community as part of our foundation of our firm. We can never forget, everybody. We need not to just think of greed. We need to be givers and not takers. And I think when you do that, you do receive. Recently, we started a 501c3. Kevin and I have invested in this organization called unidosnow.org. It's about immigration reform, about educating people. For the Latinos, it's una llamada acción, a call to action. We live in a great nation. And just like Dr. Posada said, we need to get out there and get it done. And it's upon us all, not only to give, but to inspire people to get involved and get engaged. Because when we do that, we all win. So I think we understood that a while ago. And I think that we're blessed to be surrounded by great staff and great lawyers. And that's the other thing I learned being one of the 2/3. Surround yourself with good people and great things happen. We thank you very much. Gracias a todo. Thank you to everybody. And thank you for doing this. And I agree with the doc. We'll come back next year and give a report. Thank you.
The final award this afternoon is in the category of nonprofit. We think there must be a dozen Charles Clapsaddles running around Manatee and Sarasota. How can one person get to so many events? He's here filming today. For the last 11 years, Charles, as the station manager of METV, has covered countless events and stories that reflect the needs and issues in our diverse community. He also produces 30 original programs a month. Everyone's story is important to him, and he's especially committed to telling the stories of people who don't always have a voice. One of his recent productions, Through the Tunnel, co-produced and co-written and directed, I think, by judges Charles Williams and Durand Adams, who are both in the audience today. It tells the story of a painful transitional time in our history. Charles and his team chronicle the experience of a Palmetto High School football team during the early days of integration. This film won an important Best Historical Documentary Award at the DOC International Film Festival in Miami and will be screened here at the Sarasota Film Festival on April 14th. Charles, we thank you for everything you do.
CJ's a little taller than I am, so. First of all, I want to thank Susan and Luis for this event. This is an event that's been long overdue in this community. And I want to echo the same thought that I hope this becomes a continuing event for years and years to come, because we should celebrate each and every person in this room and in our communities. But I want to accept this award on behalf of our entire station, our crews, some of who are here today, Phil and Richard, and also our board of directors, who has given us a vision to reach out across this community to produce programmings that really reflect the many voices and the many faces in our community. Black, white, Hispanic, across the spectrum. And we are so proud that we can have the privilege of documenting some of those programs that people have a right to say. And it is not only an obligation and a responsibility, it is indeed a pleasure. And I just want to recognize two other individuals in this room who, over the last few years, we have produced a series of programs with. And it hasn't always been red carpets and paparazzi. But these two gentlemen have really set a vision to create programs and documentaries that really reach out to the entire community. And those two gentlemen, we refer to them as the Warner Brothers, but they are Judge Durand Adams and Judge Charles Williams, and they deserve it. And finally, I'd like to say, and again to echo those thoughts, we want to be here next year to document the progress of what these individuals have done today, so we can show it up on that screen of what people like CJ and people like Rosalie and everybody has done through the course of this year. So you can show that this community is diverse, it is unified, and will continue to be so. And finally, I'd just like to recognize my wife, who without her, none of this would be possible. So thank you.
Pilar? Just final words. I would like to say thank you to two very special people. Eileen Denton, thank you so much for all your work, for putting this event together. And Susan, thank you for your love and your passion in order to build a better community. Thank you. See you next year. I hope to see you next year with the report and other winners. Thank you so much.